Hello friends, we are in 2 Chronicles chapter 16 and we are reading about the final years of Asa's reign. In chapter 15 we were able to read about how Asa had called upon the Lord and how he was zealous for the Lord in the beginning of his life, how there was peace in the land because he was faithful to God and honorable in following in the laws and commandments that God had given his people. God gave him peace because of that. So now what's going to happen in chapter 16 during the final years of his reign? In the 36th year of Asa's reign, King Baasha of Israel invaded Judah and fortified Ramah in order to prevent anyone from entering or leaving King Asa's territory in Judah. Asa responded by removing the silver and gold from the treasuries of the temple of the Lord and the royal palace. He sent it to King Ben-hadad of Aram, who was ruling in Damascus, along with this message. This is such a big flag. He's gone to God every time, and now he's going to the king of Aram. Let there be a treaty between you and me, like the one between your father and my father. See, I am sending you silver and gold. Break your treaty with King Baasha of Israel, so that he will leave me alone. He should have gone to God like he did the previous times. Ben-hadad agreed to King Asa's request and sent the commanders of his army to attack the towns of Israel. They conquered the towns of Ijon, Dan, Abel-beth-maacah, and all the store cities in Naphtali. As soon as Baasha of Israel heard what was happening, he abandoned his project of fortifying Ramah and stopped all work on it. Then King Asa called out all the men of Judah to carry away the building stones and timbers that Baasha had been using to fortify Ramah. Asa used these materials to fortify the towns of Geba and Mizpah. At that time, Hanani the seer came to King Asa and told him, "Because you have put your trust in the king of Aram instead of the Lord your God, you missed your chance to destroy the army of the king of Aram. Don't you remember what happened to the Ethiopians and Libyans and their vast army with all their chariots and charioteers? At that time you relied on the Lord, and he handed them over to you. The eyes of the Lord search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. What a fool you have been. From now on, you will be at war." After all those years of peace, he decides to rely on his finances, his own strength, his own ability, instead of going to God like he had all those times before. Very sad. Asa became so angry with Hanani for saying this that he threw him into prison and put him in stocks. At that time, Asa also began to oppress some of his people. No good. The rest of the events of Asa's reign from beginning to end are recorded in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa developed a serious foot disease. Yet, even with the severity of his disease, he did not seek the Lord's help, but turned only to his physicians. So he died in the 41st year of his reign. He was buried in the tomb that he had carved out for himself in the city of David. He was laid on a bed perfumed with sweet spices and fragrant ointments, and the people built a huge funeral fire in his honor. Chapter 17. I think chapter 16 is really sad. After 35 years of a great reign, he really has a very dark and terrible ending because he decided to not trust in God. This is such a beneficial piece of scripture for us to be reading, to remember to not put our confidence in ourselves or in others or in people or friends. Our confidence should rely on the hope that we have in God alone. Chapter 17. Jehoshaphat rules in Judah. Then Jehoshaphat, Asa's son, became the next king. He strengthened Judah to stand against any attack from Israel. He stationed troops in all the fortified towns of Judah, and he assigned additional garrisons to the land of Judah and to the towns of Ephraim that his father Asa had captured. The Lord was with Jehoshaphat because he followed the example of his father's early years and did not worship the images of Baal. He sought his father's God and obeyed his commands instead of following the evil practices of the kingdom of Israel. So the Lord established Jehoshaphat's control over the kingdom of Judah. All the people of Judah brought gifts to Jehoshaphat, so he became very wealthy and highly esteemed. He was deeply committed to the ways of the Lord. He removed the pagan shrines and Asherah poles from Judah. In the 3rd year of his reign, Jehoshaphat sent his officials to teach all the towns of Judah. These officials included Ben-hadad, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nathaniel, and Micaiah. He sent Levites along with them, including Shemaiah, Nethaniah, Zebediah, Asahel, Shemiramoth, Jehonathan, Adonijah, Tobiah, and Tob-Adonijah. He also sent out the priests Elishama and Jehoram. They took copies of the books of the law of the Lord and traveled around through all the towns of Judah, teaching the people. Wonderful. That's what we're doing here right now. That's what we're doing. Then the fear of the Lord fell on all the surrounding kingdoms, so that none of them wanted to declare war on Jehoshaphat. Some of the Philistines brought him gifts and silver as tribute, and the Arabs brought 7,700 rams and 7,700 male goats. So Jehoshaphat became more and more powerful and built fortresses and storage cities throughout Judah. He stored numerous supplies in Judah's towns and stationed an army of seasoned troops at Jerusalem. His army was enrolled according to ancestral clans. From Judah, there were 300,000 troops organized in units of 1,000 under the command of Adnah. Next in command was Jehohanan. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right. Jehohanan, Jehohanan, who commanded 280,000 troops. Next was Amasiah, son of Zichri, who volunteered for Lord's service with 200,000 troops under his command. From Benjamin, there were 200,000 troops equipped with bows and shields. They were under the command of Eliada, a veteran soldier. Next in command was Jehozabad, who commanded 180,000 armed men. These were the troops stationed in Jerusalem to serve the king, besides those Jehoshaphat stationed in the fortified towns throughout Judah. The next chapter that we're going to read is chapter 18, Jehoshaphat and Ahab. And I really am not trying to get so excited, but I get excited reading the Word of God because there's so many very valuable scriptures and words and lessons that are so beneficial to us. And I think it's really fantastic to see how involved God is, because in today's society we're taught that it's all about what we do and how hard we work. And God does want us to not just sit back and twiddle our thumbs. He wants us to be active, but He wants to put our trust in Him. Many are the plans of a man, but it is God that decides his steps. God is in control of absolutely everything, and we have a part to play, but we're supposed to act in faithfulness and obedience. And yes, we're forgiven by the work of God and the blood of the cross, but He still does have work for us to do. So we have faith, we trust, we work in obedience to God's will for our lives, and we live for His glory. So I'm so sorry for when I do get very excited, but I think that the Word of God is so beautiful and so wonderful and so important to us to read and learn and to encourage one another with. So I do hope you join me in chapter 18 and 19. And we're going to continue to press through the book of 2 Chronicles. There are some very wonderful stories ahead. I do hope that you join me. Hope you're having a blessed day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.